Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 3 of the Commonwealth of United Stars, a playthrough of Aurora 4X. And in the last episode, we entered our first combat situation as raiders entered the system of 61 Cygni and destroyed 2 vessels, a caravan class and attack class, a tug, and a jump stabilization station. In today's episode, we are going to determine how to defend ourselves appropriately. And so I want to get into that exactly. We need to be able to conserve and protect these worlds located in Cygni because they are very, very valuable to us. And as part of that, I'm going to rename this from Manticore. I'm going to rename it to San Martin, as suggested by the comments. If you want to suggest more comments, more planet names, more ship names, then do so in the comments below. I will accept them, and you don't have to be a member, but it does obviously help. I'm going to rename this body to Meridian. And I'm going to rename this one to Polaris, and this one to Nova, to give it some, some nicer names. So we have Polaris, Meridian, and Nova, and San Martin. So we're going to need to protect San Martin and Meridian against raider threats, and I think the best way we're going to be doing that is going to be a combination of what we're doing now with the mine layers, and then also, most importantly, having localized defense forces with proper garrisons and proper capabilities in that regard. So at the moment, I'm going to just bring up 10. So at the moment, we have our force located here, and we have our jump point here. Raiders are going to come in from here or here or here. They're going to come in towards our system. Let me just get a little bit of a smaller pen size here. We need to be able to defend the system accordingly. So the way we're going to probably have to do this is deployment of buoys and mines at these jump points to ensure that anything coming through is protected. The deployment of a in-base or in-system defensive squadron, which if I'm just going to zoom in. So an in-base defensive squadron, which can be located, say, on Meridian. And then we need a defensive sensor ring around here. So we need to have enough planetary sensor capability and enough deep space tracking stations to be able to detect anything that is coming through. So as part of that, I need to designate some bodies for use. So we have this gas giant here with fuel. We have these worlds. I'm going to say Nova is going to be our military base, or listening post. Then we're going to deploy many ground forces to Manticore as needed. We have the destroyer squadron currently here. That's going to probably head back. We are currently sending some convoy escorts to cover duty for now. However, I want to move away from that as quickly as possible so that we can get a permanent presence. And to do a permanent presence, we're going to need to be able to get our population on this world sufficiently up. And then we're going to ship in maintenance facilities. So we're going to start incrementing some time. Let me just also need to clear. There we go. Okay, and let's do day increments. We could be a gravitational survey. So the reason that raiders spawn is because we've been really expanding in terms of our size, our empire size. Beta Antillier SS Agamon is done, so I'm gonna have SS Agamon go over to Alpha Centauri. It's gonna do a refuel resupply. And it's going to head over to, what was the system called? It was Beta Antillier. And you're going to go through one of the jump points. And then also what I'm going to do is jump points. So in terms of systems, we have 61 Cygni here. So that's a big system. Then 61 Hydra. That has not really any resource that I want. There's some corundium here, but nothing too valuable. Then Easy Aquari, we have various worlds, including an ice sheet colony world here with some good amount of titanium and other resources on this world. So we're going to start stabilizing up this path. HH Andromedae has a gas giant with a bunch of fuel on it, so that will be a fuel harvesting. And then we also have Aranius with a ton of fuel as well. So this can be the fuel lane, and then we've got a up here we have more of the minerals and colonies. So we're going to need to get our tugs to begin moving over our jump stabilization stations as needed. So where are you located? You are in the Ursa Minoris system. Did we finish that stabilization up? Yes, we did. I'm going to order our tugs to move. Said, go to Ursa Minoris. Grab the station. Take that through to Alpha Centauri, take that to 61 Cygni, then go to the 61 Hydra jump point and release tracted ships. How is our fuel situation achieving? Yes, we're doing okay for that, and we are building 3 more survey vessels at the moment. Tug 1 cannot transit. Just wait a little bit of time and it'll be sorted out here. There we go. CV is now orbiting Manticore. And we're also we're having Artemis move back and forth to provide scouting information. So we're going to keep the Hephaestus there. Destroyer Squadron 1 has reached Griffin. Again, we don't want our Destroyer Squadrons to be doing operations too much like that. Our mine layer is now coming over here and should be deploying the first sets of mines. So fantastic. We're going to wait 8 hours and we're going to deploy another couple sets of mines here. So you are located here. What is this jump point? It is Beta Antilliae. Launch ready ordnance. There we go. We got another Arethusa done. And then we're going to launch ready ordnance again onto, this is Beta Antilliae. Then we're going to move to 61 Hydra. Or Alpha Centauri. Alpha Centauri, we don't need to mine the Alpha Centauri jump point here. So we move last. We've launched all our ordnance. We're going to head back to Alpha Centauri and we're going to load ordnance accordingly. So we've mined this area. I'm probably going to put mines above worlds as well. And I'm also going to want to probably order up here some deep space tracking stations if possible at some point. Okay, we are now getting cargo moved over to Manticore, which is actually should be renamed to San Martin. San Martin Colony. The San Martin colony. So we're going to want a naval base around here. We're maintaining right now 20,000 tons tonnage, but that's fine. We are also moving over a refueling station so that we can refuel over around San Martin. Tugs have completed orders. That's good to hear. So we're going to begin our stabilization, and then we're going to continue to stabilize into the areas that would be good for us. So I'm going to have you begin stabilizing that jump point, and then I'm going to have the tug go into Alpha Centauri. Tractor a fleet. We're going to tractor a space station. This attack station, and we're going to have you go to Andromeda and stabilize that jump point as well. Okay, in mineral shortage and main supply on San Martin. We're going to make sure we stop that. So again, we're trying to build up the facilities as much as possible here, and then we'll get some platforms and some lacks in place for defensive operations. We've completed that order. Let's begin stabilization for HH Andromedae. So we're going to begin to expand outwards as we begin to colonize. We've got very empty wings here, but this will be kind of fuel arm. So I'm going to map label fuel arm. I'm going to just change the font if possible. Update text. New label. Fuel arm. Update text. Change the font. I get like a size 20 here. Okay, fuel arm, and then we're going to copy label, and I'm going to put that here, and we're going to call this Colonial Core Highway, core arm. This will be for main for stuff, but this is where we'll get a lot of our fuel. We'll have to ship that up through here, so that's going to be obviously a geostrategic challenge in some regards. Anubis finished up building, and we are also moving a bunch of ground forces over to 61 Cygni, which should be finishing up here shortly. Yep, there we go. So we should now have a division in place. We're full garrison division on the world to protect. Speaking of, we're going to need to train up some more garrison forces. That is for sure. So 1, 2, 3. How many is this? 3 battalions. So we're going to need 12 and then 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then we're going to do 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to do 4 regiments. Planetary Defense, Mobile Support Regiment, Regiment Headquarters 1, 2, 3, 4. And then finally a Garrison Division. So that's training up a full new division. That shouldn't take too long. They're not very hard to build. Okay. Complete orbit orders, and we're orbiting Griffin, which is good to know. So far, we're going to keep the mines where they are. So we have 9 mines. Remember, each of those mines has 4 missiles in them. So that is, like 30, 40 missiles on these points. And they also provide sensors, so we know that if anything's coming through, we are safe in that regard. So having these mine layers is obviously important. We've completed production of Alpha ASHM-1s. Do I have my military transport squadron available just yet? No, I don't. So what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you load up some of these surface-to-orbit weapons. So we're going to order up a point defense and then also some anti-ship point defense weapons. So load those, then go back to 61 Cygni and then unload them onto the colony. Refuel accordingly. Do we have a lot more infrastructure building? I think we do. Currently, we are transporting, if I remember myself correctly. Let me go over to my freighters. We are loading infrastructure, and we're doing that. I think that's 2,000 infrastructure. So I'm going to order this one. Oh, we don't have that yet, but we do have some freighters available. So I'm going to get 4 freighters. Rename this to Freighter Squadron 2. 100 kiloton. And we are then going to transfer infrastructure to 61 Cygni, and we're going to do that on, I think, Polaris? Meridian. So we're going to begin colonization on Meridian and then also Polaris. Yeah, because we want to start mining the uranium, so we're going to go for Meridian if at all possible. Why can we not do that? Polaris. Moons. Am I looking at the wrong thing? Polaris, San Martin. Then B4. It's not updated. The name is not updated. Okay. Okay, unload all installations. Go back to Griffin. And so we can move, I think it's only 49 trips to move the necessary infrastructure. So we will do so. And again, we have the HMS, I think it's Artemis, currently moving back and forth to provide some assistance in that regard. What I'm also going to do is do we have a couple of deep space tracking stations? We do have a couple of deep space tracking stations. I'm going to order 2 other freighters. I'm going to detach them. I'm going to create a new freighter squadron. Freighter Squadron 5, 50 kiloton. And I'm going to order Freighter Squadron 5 to move 5 deep space tracking stations to Polaris. Nova. I think it's Nova. Yes, Nova. So we're going to create a colony, and we are going to unload all installations onto it, go back, refuel, and then we're going to do this 2 more times. That will get us 6 installations on. And we're going to continue our exploration. How are current surveillance ship, or not surveillance, but survey ships doing? True Sight's in overhaul, you're in overhaul, you're in overhaul. HMS True Seeker is also in overhaul. HMS, yeah, attach. In overhaul. So we know all our survey ships are currently in overhaul. Okay. And we now have some deep space tracking stations on Nova. That means that we should have a little bit of a passive sensor now, because obviously our opponents are using cloaking. We want to have really good passive sensors if possible to be able to detect them. So that is something I'm going to invest in. We are also getting our own cloaking theory as well. Do we have salvage capability? I don't think we have salvage modules. We do not. So that is going to be something we're also going to have to look into here. Okay, bunch of garrison battalions just finished training on Alpha Centauri. And again, we are building up. We now have 250,000 people over this world. And we're going to keep building that up. We got a new, was that a troop transport? No, that's a troop transport. Let's keep doing 1 day increments. Freighters are moving stuff back and forth. And in terms of stabilization, how is it going in Alpha Centauri right now? That's the other concern, is obviously the Alpha Centauri situation here. Griffin. So, let me have a look. That's 4 billion kilometers. That's a big journey we've got to make, isn't it? New Jupiter's over here. If the raiders spawn over here, that could be a problem. So, I need a colony on Alpha Centauri B1. Yeah, I need a colony on Alpha Centauri B1, methinks. To be able to support a localized force there. How I'm going to do that exactly, I'm not sure, because I don't have any freighters available. Do we have any colony ships available? We do, or normal freighters. I'm going to have then, if possible, so we're going to create a colony. It's Alpha Centauri B1. Is it this world? 2.0? I guess it must be. We are going to then demand infrastructure. We're going to set a demand of 2,000 infrastructure. And I'm going to supply 2,000 infrastructure from here. So that should ensure our colonization efforts in that regard. Yeah, there we go. And that will get us that colony working itself up. We just finished. We've deployed a bunch of these forces. We're going to turn their active sensors on. So they're all good to go. Very nicely. Also, I need to make sure with the Artemis, if you are deployment exceeded, we feel resupply overhaul. But no, with those on, I feel a lot safer. We've got 20 30cm guns. We've got 5 some quad turrets. And then with our garrison force, we have 100,000 tons of garrison infantry ready to hold the line as needed. I'm going to now move our military troop transport back to the safety of Griffin. Not to you. Oh, you're at Griffin. Fantastic. And we're going to keep trying to build up that colony. We completed that stabilization effort. So again, this is going to be our, in terms of 61 hydrate, this is going to be kind of our main line. And then we are finishing up HH Andromedae, which is going to be where we're going to get our fuel from, which will be in 96 days. Anubis 10 built at space station. We're building 5 more of those. We're also building some more mines. And system body, hide by function. Alpha Centauri 4. Yes, okay, this is the correct one. We're going to rename this to... Let's rename this to Manticore. We'll have this one as Manticore. And we should be able to get some, obviously, those freighters delivering their supplies and the colony ships as well, helping out. Bunch of garrison forces just finished up. And then we're going to be able to ship those around for more garrison duties. Moving a ton of stuff back and forth at the moment. Let me just turn our passive sensors off. It's a little bit easier to see. This is the main journey, though. Signy is quite a bit away. But we can now move this guy through the jump point and stabilize the other end. And yeah, we'll be moving up to there. Freighter squadrons completed. What was that for San Martin? That was refueling system. And then we also have maintenance facilities coming online, and we are continuing to deliver infrastructure. So I'm going to order an Arethusa class tanker to refuel from Griffin, then take that over to 61 Cygni, and then unload, transfer fuel to the colony, and back to Alpha Centauri, refuel. And that will supply. Feel our escort carrier kind of going back and forth here. allowing us to get some kind of quick response in case of anything that does occur. 3 more survey vessels just finished up, and Manticore is now at 500,000 people. Not again, this 500,000 people, and San Martin is at 41 million people as well, and can support population here. A decent population. Again, I would really love if we get some terraforming on here. So we're going to try and grow the population, then we'll get some terraforming installations moved over, methinks. But yes, with those 3 new survey vessels, we should assign them up. So we're going to turn actives on, and actives on. Detach them all accordingly, and I'm going to bring them over to our exploration flotilla. So that gives us 7 survey vessels. We're going to set up their standing orders to make sure that they do everything correctly. There we go. Let's have a look at this the map. Where do we need to send them to? So, unexplored jump points. We have 1 in Cape Bay and Antillier, 79 Aranias. So that is what distance from selected. I want to have discovery dates. That's when we discovered the systems. So we're going to go 61 Cygni. And we're going to go to Kappa Muscae. Explore through that jump point. 61 Cygni, Beta Antillier. Explore this jump point. And do this one is going to go to Beta Antillier and explore this jump point. So we're going to go big exploration. That'll be 3 new systems. Fighter Squadron completed orders orbiting Griffin. I think that has to do with our deep space tracking stations. So we have 6 deep space tracking stations now in system. So if we go over 61 Cygni, we should now have Nova has some tracking stations here versus 1,000 signature. It's got a bit more. I would like to have Meridian also having it, and essentially Polaris. So we're going to need to build some more of those. Of course, production right now is a little bit wanting for our needs. True Sight completed her overhaul, so we're going to get the True Sight gone to 79 Aranius. 79 Aranius. Begin exploration. I'm going very hard on the exploration here. We have to obviously be careful, because that could be very deadly for us, but more exploration means more potential targets for more resources. In terms of our colonization, yeah, again, getting San Martin up. Sphinx is self-sufficient, so I'm going to make sure that's stable. And we've got financial centers acting for their job force. San Martin now has fuel supplies. I am going to start transferring over maintenance supplies as well to the colony. So that is going to require me to have a look. Where is my supply transports? Fire Squadron 1, transfer to 61 Cygni, deliver maintenance supplies to the colony. And we are going to make sure that's all safe for us. So far, no raiders have been sighted. Okay. We can, however, set together a new marine division. There we go. We got the 1st and 2nd marine divisions. And we have a bunch of garrison infantry as well. We discussed the system of Groombridge 34. We have a terrestrial world and then a nitrogen oxygen atmosphere world with very little oxygen, so probably no one on there. Do we have a Lagrange point between the two? We have no Lagrange point there and no Lagrange point there. Can we set one up? How big is the first world? We could. It would take some time to do, though. What's the distances? 23 billion kilometers. It could be done. Could be done. But for now, not great. Okay, maintenance supplies have been transported over. We have maintenance supplies and fuel now on the colony. We'll set up a proper reoccurring cycle for this at some point. But for now, not too much of an issue. We've got a system of 76 Apucci, nothing of note. And we've got a system of EQ Pegasi, another binary star system. Habitable world, nitrogen ammonia atmosphere on that world. And the system of Tau Ceti. This looks a lot more promising. We have a nitrogen methane world with a max pop of 54 billion people. Potential usefulness. Let's have a look at the galaxy map now. There we go. Really getting the exploration efforts here. So probably want to go over to that area. Not two EQ Aquari. No, that's EQ Pegasi and Easy Aquari. Again, no other aliens have been spotted so far. Supply squadron's completed orders. We now have colonists on this world as we begin to move over some infrastructure. We're moving over infrastructure over here as well as maintenance facilities. We'll get up to 20 ideally. Seeker completed overhaul. So we're going to order the Seeker to go to another jump point. We're going to go to EQ Aquari and go have a look. Vigilance is completed overall. Let me check the map again and set up my settings correctly. Surveyed location points. How much have we surveyed in terms of possible jump point survey status? Yeah, so we need to go to Kappa Musque. So I'm going to send you. What was the one? It was the Vigilance. We're going to go to Kappa Musque. Has been carried out. Aegon has completed overhaul. We're going to go to 79 Aranius. I'm going to go through this jump point with you. JSS has completed orders, so that means that we can now get into 61 Hydra. 61 Hydra has access to this dwarf planet, but also the gas giant, but nothing too valuable for me. I am, however, going to begin moving this tug over through 61 Cygni, 61 Hydra. Grabbing this, and then we're going to put it on Easy Aquari because that is a system that I actually want to go to. Refuel accordingly. Production of mines are completed. In terms of stockpile, we have 1,200 ASHM Fs. We have 100 mines in stockpile. I'm going to continue to order more weapons. I'm going to go for another 500 Bravos. Get those produced, please. HMS Seeker can complete orders. Discover system of 75 Apucci. First, we have a nitrogen oxygen atmosphere world, and not much oxygen. Ice fields. We have a terrestrial world, and then we have a gas giant. A trinary star system. It looks like the first and second star are pretty close in, but the third star is all the way out here. It does, however, have a Lagrange point, so we could access that third star at some point here. So that is good. In terms of growing our colonies, Manticore's at 1.1 million people. Yeah, we want to get that up as much as possible. We're also growing up our San Martin colony. And that is going very well for us, though it's going to take some time, of course. Literally speaking, we're building a lot of different stations right now. Another Anubis was built. Vigilance completed orders. Vigilance, do you not have your correct standing orders? Yeah, you don't. There we go. Set up correctly. And they will be able to go and survey. We find another jump point. Tug Squadron completed orders. We can begin stabilization with the new station. Begin stabilization there. I want to get those spare platforms moved over, though. Eventually. To San Martin and to Manticore as well. Again, we're growing very slowly, and that's good. Slow amount of growth. Realistically speaking. It's only been 6 years. 3 regimental headquarters just finished up training on Earth. That's for our garrison forces, so we're going to move those over. Oh yeah, that was the thing with the Marine Force, right? We needed to put in the Mobile Support Battalion. There we go, Mobile Support Battalion. Good, and I need to clear hierarchy. There we go. Regimental headquarters garrison. There we go. That's a bunch of garrison. Then we've got the fire support, so we'll need another one, and then we can do the 5th garrison division. as needed. Garrison, regiment headquarters is coming down. We're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. That's a division on the way. Sorry if you guys are hearing a noise, by the way, there. But I think we... Ooh, aliens detected for the first time in 61 Cygni. Ancient construct found in 75 Abuchi B1. Let's have a look at that first. Probably just raiders on the other side. So B1. We have a dormant construct located on that world. Where is that system located? It is located over here in this arm of the galaxy. We've discovered 18 systems. Ship detected in Tau Ceti. That is going to be one of our ships dead. We need to figure out. Oh, that's a problem. Our survey vessels are probably going to get picked off here. There's not much I can do. It's too fast. All we need to start fitting box launchers on them just in case. Could be a research extension power modifier. But I think as well we'll leave the episode off here. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe. It really does help me out. If you do want to see more content like this, you have to keep engagement up. Makes me more motivated. Makes me get more content out. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.